Hello everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. In today's video, we are talking about Evolving Skies. It has been years since I've done a dedicated video to Evolving Skies, and there's never been a better time to honestly talk about it because Evolving Skies just passed a really large milestone, and that is the $2,000 price point, which is pretty much only reserved to the most pristine, prestigious set out there. There are very few Pokemon card booster boxes that go for above $2,000. Even if you go back to the XY era or even older booster boxes by many years, you still don't see a lot of booster boxes going for upwards of over $2,000. Evolving Skies is really not that old of a Pokemon card set, and it is skyrocketing. It's pretty much the golden child of modern collect. If you're someone that's been collecting Pokemon cards for the last couple of years and you are interested at collecting booster boxes at all, most likely you have an Evolving Skies booster box inside of your collection because it is that iconic. Usually for most modern Pokemon card set, I keep one booster box sealed just for memories. Evolving Skies specifically, I have 4 booster boxes sealed, which is a lot for someone like me. I rarely ever have duplicate booster boxes kept sealed long term. Evolving Skies is pretty much one of the very few ones that I still have duplicate copies of because of how iconic it is. And it really goes to show how quickly it's climbed. And I'll give you guys an example with that, which is with XY Evolutions. If you look at XY Evolutions, it's a super iconic set. 3 years ago, on May 2022, exactly 3 years ago, XY Evolutions booster boxes were going for $700. How much is it going for today? It's going for $1,300. That is a very respectable climb. That is an 85% price jump over the last 3 years. Give or take, it's climbing by right around 30% every single year. That is fantastic returns. Do you guys know how much Evolving Skies has climbed in the exact same time? Evolving Skies booster boxes used to be a lot more affordable exactly 3 years ago. Since then, it has climbed up 566%, which means if you break it out, Evolving Skies is currently climbing at 200% per year for the last 3 years. That is an insane rate of return for any Pokemon card product, and obviously there are many Pokemon cards that have been skyrocketing in value, but booster boxes are usually some of the slower climb. They're usually pretty safe, very consistent. They're sealed product. They're nothing super wild. So for sealed booster boxes to climb at a rate of 200%, Evolving Skies is an outlier amongst all Pokemon card sets. So what's the cost for that? Why is Evolving Skies so special? There's 3 main reasons that makes Evolving Skies really special, and I think these are great indicators for future Pokemon card sets that could have a similar return as Evolving Skies. The first big one is the iconic cards. There's a bunch of really cool iconic cards inside of Evolving Skies, and the big one is obviously the Umbreon EX, the Moonbreon. The biggest, most iconic modern Pokemon card is inside of Evolving Skies. The set has a ton of really awesome alternate art card. We knew as soon as this set was revealed that it was going to be an absolute banger. We have never seen a Pokemon card set with as many adorable, gorgeous, crazy, cool looking alt art cards since the release of Evolving Skies. There's been other sets that have really cool arts, but at release, Evolving Skies blew every other set out of the water. There was no other Pokemon card set that was around Evolving Skies time that has as many alt art cards as this set, and it does hurt. And it basically means if you're looking to pull any of the alt art cards inside of Evolving Skies, the Umbreon VMAX, the Rayquaza VMAX, the Sleepy Dragonite V, any of these alt art cards, the odds of you pulling them are very low. If you open up 2 or 3 booster box, you may see one single alt art card, which is crazy because that's $6,000. It would cost you $6,000 to rip open 3 of these booster boxes right now, and the odds are you're gonna maybe see one alt art card, and it's unlikely to be the Umbreon. Even if it is the Umbreon and it grades as a PSA 10, you still do not make the money back of ripping open these booster packs right now. That's absolutely wild. So what I've learned is that the first big part of having a really awesome set that is super valuable is having really iconic cards. Not one, not two, but a bunch of iconic cards. And there are many sets that are similar to Evolving Skies. Fusion Strike has done really well, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin. All of these sets have really iconic Pokemon cards inside of them. They usually have one or two. Evolving Skies is unique in that it has a ton of iconic Pokemon cards. There's just a ton of really cool cards that people want inside of it, and the pull rates are terrible inside of Evolving Skies, and that actually kind of helps it long term, is that people have to rip open a ton of booster packs to pull anything good. You can't just rip open a couple booster packs and feel happy about yourself. If you want to pull something from Evolving Skies, you are ripping multiple booster boxes. And the crazy thing is people are still ripping open a ton of these modern booster packs. Evolving Skies isn't that old. A lot of people are still ripping these booster packs. Who's ripping booster packs of a $2,000 booster box? Not guys like you and I, but there are people with deeper pockets, celebrities, rich people, businessmen, people who just want to have some fun, and they're willing to dump tens of thousands of dollars on sealed products that are considered kind of luxurious, like Evolving Skies is, and they're okay ripping open tens of thousands of dollars to pull themselves a single $1,000 card because they see it as good fun. So that's the second key indicator, is to have some really challenging pulls. Hard pull rates means people have to rip open a lot of booster packs, and I've learned that no matter how expensive Pokemon cards get, there are still people that are ripping open these booster packs. There are still people ripping open base set, Jungle, and Fossil every single day. These older sets are still being opened even now. So yeah, people will be opening up Evolving Skies no matter how expensive it gets. And the third one, and this one is going to be the hard one to pick out, which is you have to be the best of your area. The best of the best will always climb faster than any other sets. And that's the key indicator, is to be the best of the best. So what are some of the best sets? There's actually quite a few, but which one is going to be the best of all of the best? And that is Evolving Skies is the best of Sword and Shield. I would debate and say Crown Zenith, I think, is significantly more fun and still as iconic. But honestly, in a head-to-head match, I think Evolving Skies will probably beat Crown Zenith. I personally prefer Crown Zenith, but I can see Evolving Skies taking the crown as the best of the Sword and Shield era sets. So what is the best of Scarlet and Violet? I think right now it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Prismatic Evolutions. It hits all the same notes as Evolving Skies did. It has a super iconic, highly desirable chase card. It has a god-awful pull rate. It's incredibly hard to pull anything inside of Prismatic Evolutions. And the last key thing, it is the best of the best. I think there will never be a set, at least in the Scarlet and Violet era, that can top Prismatic Evolutions. There may be one potential set, which is the final special set of the whole entire Scarlet and Violet era. I don't even think Black and White can beat Prismatic Evolutions. We'll just have to wait and see. It has a lot of illustration rare, but as of right now, I don't think Prismatic Evolutions crown will be top. And at the end of the day, if Prismatic Evolutions ever drops down to a super affordable price, I'm probably going to pick up some of it because it's going to be fun to open up Prismatic Evolutions down the line with my kids. Will there ever be a set that beats Evolving Skies in terms of being iconic? I don't think so. The set is kind of legendary at this point, but it's going to go down in history. In 5-10 years, there will be other sets that are just as cool, just as amazing. And I think Evolving Skies is going to stay expensive. It's probably going to be a $3,000, $4,000 price point in a couple of years' time. But at a certain point, that value is kind of set. Evolving Skies isn't going to reach a $10,000 booster box. It's probably going to stagnate and slow down, even as people open up more booster boxes. Same with XY Evolution. XY Evolution slowed down once it reached $800, $900 a booster box, even though people are still ripping it open every day. Something similar will happen to Evolving Skies. It could stay at $2,000 for the next 3 or 4 years, and that is still a very reasonable price point for this set. $2,000 is already astronomical. I just don't see it going for $3,000, $4,000 down the line. It may take it years for it to go down. The easy money inside of Evolving Skies is absolutely over. If you're picking up an Evolving Skies booster box right now for $2,000 to keep sealed, that's completely fine. You're doing that because you want to have a piece of history inside of your collection. I think that's cool, but I don't think it's going to be a $3,000, $4,000 booster box in a couple of years. It may reach $4,000 at some point, but it's going to flatline. The easy money is what's gone. It's not going to go to a $10,000 booster box, right? That would truly be ridiculous. Maybe I'll eat my words. We'll see where that goes. But ultimately, right now, I see Prismatic Evolutions as being the next Evolving Skies. And I don't even like Prismatic Evolutions, but it hits all the same notes as Evolving Skies. And history likes to repeat itself, especially for Pokemon. So by the end of the Scarlet and Violet era, once I've seen all the sets from the Scarlet and Violet era, whichever set is the best one of the bunch, I'm going to pick up a lot of sealed products of it, just so that I have more to open up down the line, because whatever is the best set, whatever is the most iconic set, I think people are going to want. And so I'm going to be able to have some to rip open with viewers. I'm going to have some to give away, which is fantastic. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think it's absolutely insane that Evolving Skies is now a $2,000 booster box? Could it reach $4,000 or $5,000? Will I have to eat my shirt because of how wrong I am? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.